Sorry, I should have been recording a little bit of that beforehand, but yes, so simple things. So simple exhales, long, steady exhales. Just stop what you're doing and take 5 breaths where you're concentrating on grounding your body, feeling your feet, feeling your body, and then 5 breaths with some long exhales. It can be as simple as that, and it can make a profound difference. So I'm going to start incorporating even just that, the simplicity of that technique into our practices every time. So it starts to become high on the body memory list so that you remember to access it when you need it. The other thing, the other tool that I think is very helpful is shaking in some way. I see Maggie rocking right now on her roll towel that she does every time. It can be lying down rocking, it can be standing up shaking, it can be bouncing, it can be any kind of shaking it out movement. Also a really good way to discharge the nervous system from some heightened energy. So those are the only two I'm going to throw out. There's lots, but let's start with something really simple. And if of course you have something that already works for you, that helps you put yourself into a parasympathetic nervous system state, by all means, do those techniques. There's like a gazillion of them. So if you've already got one that's kind of entrained in you, utilize it regularly as best as you can. So let's remember to help ourselves, through the day. Whenever you read the news, maybe put your news down and then do this, or maybe before you read the news and after you read the news. Whatever is helping. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to read a poem, but first we're going to do some breath just to kind of get our minds into that space. All right, so as you sit up straight and tall, take a moment to find a good posture, something that's self-sustaining and feels lovely in your body. Maybe that means you're lying down still. Maybe you're standing up. It doesn't matter. What feels lovely in your body right now? And take a moment to notice whatever is touching the ground. It could be your ankles or your feet or your sit bones, or if you're standing, the soles of your feet. If you're lying down, a whole bunch of your body might be touching the ground. So just notice what's feeling the earth. And bring your attention there. Drop your body. And then feel the floatingness, the sense of space and ease that arises from that place. Feel the heart opening. Relax through your eyes. Scan your body and just melt anywhere you find that might be guarding or holding. And we're just going to start our practice with 5 slow breaths. So a steady inhale and a longer exhale. Now remember, when you do this, if it's difficult for you to stretch your exhales long, try with some pursed lips instead of through your nose. So those are your 2 choices. Sometimes pursed lips exhales just give us a little bit more of that pressure gradient to control the movement of the diaphragm, controlling the exhale out. Okay, so your pace, everybody's pace is different. Try to put your attention solely on what the breath is doing. Hone your awareness of your breathing, focus in. Keep relaxing your shoulders and your face, finding your ground. Try both exhales, nose and pursed lips, and just see what feels better to you. Imagine on the exhales that you're dropping into warm water and floating. I can't guarantee anything, but chances are good that if you do this for about 5 minutes when you're feeling unwell in some way, it will help you. So keep breathing like that, and I'm going to read you a poem. So back to that sense of what our community, being with each other, offers us. Okay, this is by Danusha Ramirez. Small kindnesses. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by. Or how strangers still say bless you when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and say thank you to the person handing it to you. To smile. Oop, I just lost it. Totally lost the poem. Okay, that's where we're ending it, because that's what happens with phones sometimes. Okay. All right. My favorite line of the poem was yet to be heard, but it's just basically about maybe this is what we've lost, that we have come far away from tribe and fire, and that perhaps these small kindnesses that we can share with each other are really where the holy lives. This is the place of connection. And to marvel at it, to revel in it, to be present for the small kindnesses, to search for them, to be aware when they happen, to linger within them. Okay, so in your day today, when you meet up with a stranger, smile and linger in your smile, or whatever interaction you can find to be supportive and helpful and in connection. And not only does this help others, but it helps ourselves. Set an intention. Relax your hands, and let's find our way onto our back. All right, so as you stretch out and lengthen through your body, let's have a moment of just enjoying that sense of ease of lying on the ground. So before, maybe you felt your sit bones if you were sitting. Now feel anything that's touching the ground and notice the shape shifting that's happening within you, the shifting of weight, the shifting of fluids, the shifting of your awareness, maybe even of your energy level or your mood or your mind by just changing a position. And then reach your arms overhead and let's enjoy a big stretch. So stretching the left side, stretching the right side, opening up through the rims of the body. Breathe deeply. And then draw your knees into your chest and give a little hug and a little rock. Now remember, this rocking is so good for our nervous system. Shaking, bouncing, rocking, all the things we do to babies when they're a little cranky, right? Think about the way you soothe a baby. These are the types of things that can soothe us. We're just the same. We're still having the same human emotions as we did when we were newborn. We just learned to control it and contain it a little bit more. But the same techniques work. All right, hang on to your knees and let's circle, kind of rolling, and let your low back have a nice massage. Sense into what is nice and comfortable and easy and gentle. Roll the other way.
When you savor sensation in your body, this is a pleasure practice. You know, we should be enjoying ourselves. So we can suspend some of that stress and just live in the enjoyment of being in our body. Let's open up the knees and spread them apart and just feel that movement in your hip joints. All right, and then right knee in and roll around in your ankles and wiggle through your toes. Let your head get heavy. Notice if you want to pick it up and help your feet with your head. No need. Okay. Let's squeeze the other knee in, stretch that right leg long and move around, wiggling your toes and rolling around in your ankles and feeling that freedom. Now we're going to kind of stoke the fire of our core a little bit by just some simple movements, but a little quicker, of drawing right knee in and then left knee in. And don't forget to give a good squeeze while you're there and stretching that other leg long on the ground. Find your breath, kind of warming up the hip flexors, warming up the core a little bit here. And then stretch to a big star on the ground and open your body up. Let's roll our wrists and our ankles. Feel yourself out there in space. Maybe wiggle your fingers, open, close your fists, whatever feels good. And then we'll draw in. Pick up your head, pick up your knees, a snug ball. One more time, expanding, open, feel that reach. Exhale, drawing in. Okay. All right, come out to a star again, and we're just gonna warm up our hips a little differently, dragging your heels on the ground. Knock your knees toward each other. So internally rotate your legs, drag your heels up toward your hips, and then externally rotate your legs, knees out, and push your knees back out. And then keep them externally rotated and drag your heels in, and then internally rotate, knees in toward each other, and push your heels out. Let's do two more. Knees in, drag your heels up, knees out, push your heels back, straight legs. One more time, knees out, heels in toward your hips, knock your knees, press your heels into the ground, stretch them out wide. A star again. Draw the knees in, pick up your head, put your head down and come to a happy baby pose. Let's grab our feet and rock a little bit, left and right. You can hold the back of your knees if your feet are too far away. Just feeling that nice rocking from side to side. Let's open up a leg here. Straightening one leg as you tip to that side, and then straightening the other leg as you tip to that side. Let yourself be playful. All right, and then put your feet down, arms out like a T, and let's windshield wiper your knees left and right. Breathing deeply. All right, and then let's deepen this twist. Maybe swing your leg. So that top leg, you can swing a little bit. Maybe let the foot leave the floor and just let your back open up and feel your chest open up. Once again, that kind of rocking and swinging left, right, one of the other. I know I didn't want to go too far into other techniques, but left, right hemisphere work is really good for the nervous system. So anytime we kind of swing left to right and cross the midline and use one side of our body and then the other is also very nourishing. So stretch out to a star, draw the knees in, roll to your side, and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so all fours. Let's enjoy a cat-cow, arching the back, rounding the spine, taking your time to move through your vertebrae. Dropping the tail, feeling the spine spread out, head down, and switching directions, and just feeling that full movement of breath and full movement of spine. It's amazing how we don't have to do anything gargantuan. You know, we don't have to go run a marathon to get our nervous system back on track. Small bites through the day can be so successful in getting us to have that discharge of stress. All right, so wag your tail, move your ribs, breathing. Any kind of movement that feels really good in the body. Okay. And then drop back towards child's pose and inch the hands forward so you get a good stretch through the shoulders. Relax your head. Breathe down the body. Walk the hands over to one side, feeling a drop of your sit bones. Base of the skull soft. Walk the hands over to the other side and feel that reach of your spine here. Melt through the base of the skull. Come back to center. Come up onto all fours again. Let's lift one arm up. Feel a big reach. Exhale, slide that shoulder down and twist. Full breaths here, both in and out. And when you're ready, lift that arm all the way back up in the air. Hand comes down onto the ground. Reach that arm all the way up, other arm, and twist to this side. Relax your eyes, relax your neck, open up through your ribs. Inhale, reach that arm back up in the air, hand comes down onto the ground. Lift yourself up to a dog pose. If you still have socks on, nice time to take those socks off. And as you extend and lengthen upward, let's pedal your feet here. So dropping one heel, dropping the other heel. So this is a very simple left-right movement that can be very helpful. So just feel that rhythmic nature of dropping a heel and bending the other knee and switching sides. Just enjoy the rhythm of it. Breathing deeply. All right, and then ground yourself. Feel roots through hands and feet. Lengthen away from your roots, so find the balance of root and rise. Fill up your breath, a nice long exhale, maybe through your pursed lips, maybe through your nose. Every yoga practice, or every yoga pose, I should say, you can practice these long exhales. Bend your knees, come forward, Uttanasana. Find your breath. Inhale for a halfway lift. Gather some length in your body. Let's pedal your feet here. Again, I like to put my hands on blocks instead of on my legs or ground for this, but you do you, whatever feels good. Pedaling your feet left and right. Simple things like going for a walk, where you're swinging your arms and your legs and you're doing that rhythmic movement. If any of you have ever done EMDR, this is one of the classic tenets of it, of how it helps your nervous system, is moving your eyes or feeling a difference between left and right sides, back and forth. Spread out the bones of your feet, melt again. Inhale, rising up, reaching the arms to the sky. Open up, lean back, let's cactus, spread your wings. And then exhale and hug in, forearms come to touch. Your spine rounds a little bit. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Feel that extension, let's cactus. And then exhale and round in. Okay, release the hands and let's give the hands a little bit of a shake. Okay. And then a very simple
twisting. You can have your arms out if you want, or we're just loosening up the spine, loosening up the hips. Let your foot leave the floor. Find your breath. Maybe you want your arms to kind of be down low. Maybe you want your arms swinging up high. Just see what feels good. Okay. Then hopefully, you feel like you've warmed up a bit of your body now. All right, so let's start some bouncing. You do not have to leave the floor. If you feel like jumping, by all means, you can leave the floor. But this can be very subtle. Even if you have troubles with ankles or knees or hips or back, you can find maybe just the littlest bit of a bounce in your body. Let your mouth relax, your tongue relax. Maybe make some noise on those long exhales. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let yourself be silly. You're alone, or maybe you're not, but you're in your house. You can make lots of noise and nobody's gonna wonder what the heck you're doing. It's all good. So, let anything come out of your mouth that you want to release. Okay, now let's shake a limb at a time. Let's find a little shake in one leg, and then a little shake in another leg, and then a shake in your arms, okay, and a wiggle through your body, and another bounce. All right, now a couple of lion's breaths. Take a deep breath in, open your mouth, tongue down, look up. And then release it. Feel free to make some roaring sounds when you're doing this. One more time. Open your mouth, tongue down, eyes up. And then exhale and relax. And notice if you feel different. If something has changed in your mind or in your body. Find your breath. All right, and now reaching your arms all the way up. Tapping can be a part of that, bouncing, rocking, swaying, swishing kind of release for the nervous system. Tapping practices can be very good. Inhale for a halfway lift. Melt again. Step back to dog pose. Feel that extension and length in your body and reach. Enjoy. Feel your hands and your feet. Start to feel the edges of your body. Know where you are in space. Feel your embodiment. Let's come forward into a plank. Push the ground away. Feel that sense of we're not lifting our heart up into our body. Our heart is broad. Our collarbones are broad. Our shoulder blades are on the back and down. Our hands are rooted. Index fingers pushing. Our breath is traveling to our ribs. And then put your knees down and find the ground. Roll the shoulders a few times here. Take a deep breath in. Open up your heart. Cobra pose. Exhale. Melt back down. Let's repeat. Maybe you want a different position with your arms. And then come down. This time, third time, we're all going to take our hands wide, if you're following me, like a V on the ground. Palms are down. Stretch your right leg a little bit longer. Stretch your left leg a little bit longer. Stretch both legs a little bit longer. Open up through your heart. And then exhale and relax. Come up onto all fours and do some good tail wagging. Left and right with your tag. Wag your tail. Think about any happy dog you have in your life or have had or have noticed and seen. All right, drop your hips way over to one side. And then drop your hips way over to the other side. And then come back. Curl your toes under. Feel the reaching of your body again. Dog pose.
Rooting down, rising up. Can you feel the fullness of your calves, the fullness of your hamstrings? Lift and widen the sit bones. All right, let's walk our feet forward one more time. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift, extending the spine again. Melt to fold. Climb all the way up. Reaching the arms up. Now, instead of left, right, let's center. Just travel down the center line of your body, nice and slow. Maybe trace your thumbs on your skin, across your face, down to your heart. Let's pause here. You can always take your hands down if you prefer, instead of having your hands at your heart. Okay. Just notice your feet. Feel your body. Unlock your diaphragm. Relax your shoulders. Arms down or hands at heart, whatever feels better. Let's take 5 more deep, slow inhales, focusing on those long, steady exhales. Exhales can be through pursed lips or through your nose. Try both and see what works for you. Notice the natural slowing of your inhale when your exhale gives that inhale the cue that we're going slow now. On these last couple of breaths, add a little pause at the bottom of your exhale if it feels comfortable. Don't do it if it gives you stress. Okay, so we're not adding to the stress bucket. We're taking away from the stress bucket. But a little bit of a pause at the bottom of that exhale if it's available. Lock your knees, feel your feet. Now open your eyes and notice something in your room, something that just gives you a deep awareness of present moment. Could be something beautiful, could be something, try not to look at something that, annoys you, I guess. But just find a sense of neutral or joy as you look. Feel the soles of your feet. Deep breath in, arms up. Let's exhale and step the left foot back. Bring your hands onto your blocks. Kind of take comfort in the familiarity of your practice. You know these poses, they're friends. You can come home to yourself through the things that you're familiar with. So bending and straightening your front knee. Just notice if those long, steady exhales can stay with you. Try to wait for your breath to guide the movement. So you might be moving slower than you normally do, and that's great. Just let yourself slow down into a deeply mindful process. Long, smooth exhales, like a long shadow at the end of the day, like a long ray of the moon on a calm water, like a long sunset, whatever your visual is of keeping yourself long, steady, smooth, and grounded. Push through your feet when you feel ready. So take your time to get into that lunge and rise up. Your arms may come up. Maybe you feel like you need to just widen a little bit and bring a little more like welcoming. Welcome the sun, welcome the day, welcome all the things that are going to arrive into your life today. Open heart. Takes a lot of courage to keep the heart open. So be mindful to stay in this open space. And then release your hands down, come up to half splits, lengthen through your body, square the pelvis, Feel that sense of grounding on the one foot. Keep lifting your right hip up. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop in, Jiva squat, nice and slow. Inhale, push straight. See if you can keep this movement. We'll do 2 more. Slow, steady exhales. Try not to rush yourself. One more time. Slow exhales. Straightening the leg. Put your foot down next to your other foot. Feet hip width apart. Feel your breath. Hands on blocks. Long spine. And then let's touch our toes. If you want, you can put a block between your knees. Come down to a chair. Start with your hands on your thighs. We're just going to do some thigh pressing here to remind yourself that you're grounded. Okay. You can kind of travel along your thighs. You can bounce a little out of the pose, and as you press, go a little deeper. Just feel the fact that you have grounding on your legs. Try to get, all the way down to your knees if you can. And then inhale, come up onto your toes. Not so grounded, right? Now we're kind of floating high up off the earth. Focus your attention, relax the base of your skull. Still with the long, steady exhales. And then one more time into a chair. Notice your attention from that balance. Keep the focus as you ground and breathe. Hands on legs. Press anywhere you want on your legs. You can start at the top and work toward your knees. Start at the bottom, work toward your hips, whatever feels good. Ground. How's your breath? Long, steady exhales. How's your gaze? Soft and focused. See what you can do. And then one more time, up onto your toes. Focus your gaze, put your arms where you want. Breathe well. Heels come down. Let's float forward and step back into the other side. Our left foot is in front, our right foot is back. Feel that lunge. Okay. And we'll start to move here. We're bending, we're straightening, we're breathing. Long, steady exhales. Try to forget that the rest of your practice is coming. It doesn't matter what's coming. It doesn't matter what was. We're just here in this pose. We're breathing and moving. Ground yourself. Feel the roots of your legs. Find your steady lunge. When you feel ready, bring yourself up. Maybe, you'd rather have your hands on your hips, and that downward energy is what you need today. Maybe you need to coax your heart to stay open. So a big open heart is what you need today. So just pay attention. Let your practices be your medicine. Long, steady exhales. Press into that front foot. Activate your glutes and your hamstrings. And then release your hands down, and let's come up onto that left foot. Square your pelvis. That right leg is straight back behind you. Keep lifting your left hip. Extend the spine. Find a deep breath in. And as you're ready to exhale, nice and slow, come to a one-legged squat. Jiva squat, a knee behind or next to your other knee. Let your head bow. Inhale, straightening your legs. Your exhales are slow and steady. Let's see if we can incorporate this slow exhale within the effort. One more. Straightening that leg, let's put our 2 feet down onto the ground. And let's widen our feet to the edges of our mat. You could go a little wider if that feels better to you.
Come down to a squat. Elbows inside your knees. Heart extends forward. Ground your legs. Rooting your feet. There they are, pressing down into the ground. And then inhale and come all the way up to stand. Now, if you get dizzy with the up down, take your time and you don't have to do this next movement. You could just stay down instead of going up and down. So kind of regulate what feels best for you, for your blood pressure and your sense of integrity there. Okay, so we're gonna do just a few moving squats. So big arms out to open heart. Exhale. Go deep. Inhale. Push straight. Now our exhale maybe isn't as slow and we have a little force to it. One more time, we stay. Come on up. And now we stay. Elbows inside your knees. And then let's move the arms. Arms back behind you. Engage the back body. Knit your ribs in. Triceps engaged. Neck long. And then bring your arms straight out to the sides. Drop your shoulders. Keep the grounded feet. Keep breathing. And then lastly, if it's available, arms stretch overhead. Root your femur bones back. Ground the four corners of your feet. Knit your ribs in. And then inhale. Stand all the way back up. Bring your feet back to neutral. Okay. Just standing in Tadasana. Big breath. A long exhale. Have a little bounce in your body. Where does shaking feel good? Maybe you want to wiggle from side to side. Maybe you want to like do some wiggles all around. Maybe you want to just shake your hands. Okay. Could be as simple as shaking out your hands, shaking out your feet. A few more rounds of these long, steady exhales. Fill your lungs. Steady your exhales long. Unlock your knees, ground your feet. You know, when you work, the squats probably got your heart rate up a little bit. So notice if those long exhales are a little more challenging to achieve. This is where that pursed lips might be helpful. Melt your shoulders. Okay, we're going to take our legs wider now. So turn sideways on your mat. Nice wide legs. Come to a wide squat. Elbows inside your knees. Open up your hips. Maybe take your forearms onto your inner knees and press them open. Drop your hips down. Ground your feet. All right, just like we did when we were in a closer in squat, we're going to stand up to a standing start, and same things apply. If you know that up-down movements are challenging for your blood pressure regulation, you can just stand here. Excuse me. You can just stand here in a standing star, or you can stay in a squat. You don't have to do the movement, but if you're ready to do some movement, we'll come down. Remember that sense of dropping some energy down toward the ground and then scooping some energy up. Move with your breath. Where are the exhales? I like to exhale on my way down. Maybe that's not your natural way. You just find you don't have to be super deep. You get to be where you are. Okay, so just let the movement potential be where it is. Keep your chest up. Let this be grounding. Right, stand for just a moment. Let your legs have a little extra juice coming in. And then we're gonna come down into a squat and hold this. So, you can have palms down, just kind of like releasing toward the floor. You can be palms up and just holding some energy. You can bring your arms wide and say, yes, I'm ready for getting all this energy brought into me. So, whatever is supportive for your well-being, it can be higher, you can be lower, just find self-sustainment. Ground your feet, open your chest, knit draws or ribs knit back, shoulders are broad. Full breaths, steady exhales. They may not be as slow, but they still can be steady. Now, standing start. Okay, heel toe your feet in, turn back toward the front of your mat for a dog pose. So feel that extension and length. Enjoy your legs coming closer together. Big breaths here. And we'll come forward into a plank, holding that ground. Full breaths. And find the earth. Pause for a moment before we do a back bend so you feel the grounding of your front body. Take the shoulder blades down, inhale, any back bend that you choose. And then find your exhale, release it on down. Come up onto all fours, wag your tail around for a moment, release that back bend, and then come back to child's pose and feel that really good compression in your legs. Make sure your head is touching something, if not the ground, a blanket or a block. Arms can be long, arms can be down at your sides or anywhere in between. Give yourself over to the grounding of this pose. If you're comfortable, come to Virasana. You can sit on your heels, you can sit on a block, but just pause here for a moment. If this is not comfortable, sit on a blanket and put your legs straight out in front of you. And again, pressing on our thighs, giving ourselves that cue of ground. Okay, we are grounding. These are good times for, salt baths. And gosh, wouldn't it be great if we could just like sink ourselves into the earth for a little while? Okay, weighted blankets, having somebody else lie on top of you, any kind, having your dog lie on top of you, any sense of grounding that you can access. Let's pause in this position. Make sure you're comfortable. Adjust if you're not. 5 deep, slow breaths. Focus on relaxing the shoulders, relaxing your face, feeling your sense of ground, opening your diaphragm. Notice if something can shift in your diaphragm to just make a little more room, a little bit more capacity for a breath. Out of here and come on to your back, lie down. We're gonna come into a bridge pose. You can do this with the block between your thighs, if that helps you feel more grounded. And of course, you can do this passively with block underneath you. I would encourage an active bridge just so that you're gaining some engagement in your glutes and hamstrings in particular. You know, let your legs and glutes, these are big, strong muscles that help us feel grounded. Okay, so as we lift up, let's open up into the shoulders. Get your neck in a nice, good position. Put your upper body where you like it to be in a bridge, stacking those shoulders under you, and then ground your feet, all four corners. Squeeze your leg muscles, all of them. Hug your femur bones, wrap your femur bones, hug your glutes onto your pelvis. Feel your low back engage, feel your neck relax. Press your arms down into the ground, all four corners of your feet. Big breaths here. Lower our body down. Release your shoulders. Let's windshield wiper our knees. Turn your head in opposition of your knees. Let your eyes turn in opposition of your knees. As this left, right, left, right. A little bit of brain gym, kind of crossing hemispheres, moving from left to right. And let's roll to your side. Come up to sit on a comfortable seat. So I'm going to sit on the edge of a blanket. You can sit on whatever is comfortable to you. Okay. All right. And then as you sit up straight and tall in a comfortable cross-legged position, or any other position if cross-legged is not good for your body. We're gonna, once you settle, we're gonna find a twist, and I want you to make sure you're turning your eyes as well. Okay, so left hand behind you, right arm up, bring your hand to the outside of your knee, twist to the side, turn your head, turn your eyes, gaze to your edge without pushing into tension. And let your body breathe, relax here. Feel the support of that arm to keep you upright. Our breath is happening. Come back to center. Switching sides. Lift your left arm, bring it to the outside of your right knee. Right hand is behind you. Drop the shoulders. Widen the colors. Long spine. Turn your head. Turn your eyes. Nice and soft. Keep breathing. Come back to center. Take the soles of your feet together. Feet are far away from you, so we're not in Baddha Konasana. We're in a triangle shape between our legs. Lengthen your spine. Try not to round and fall, but lengthen your spine. Maybe your elbows come onto your knees. If you can't reach, you can stick a block on each knee for your elbows. Okay, so just find what feels good. Long spine. When you get to the length of your spine, you can bow your head and relax your head and your eyes, but try not to round the spine too much. Feel those long exhales. Come back. Take a moment to find whatever you need to do to finish your practice. And as we move towards Shavasana, remember it doesn't have to always look the same. You might choose to do a child's pose over a bolster, or legs up the wall, or curl into a ball on your side, or anything that's gonna help you feel really grounded. This is a good time to bring out weight. Like if you have a sandbag, to put it on your pelvis, if you have an eye pillow, to put it on your eyes, if you have a weighted blanket, to put it over your body. So make some choices of things that help you ground. And if you don't have any of that, that's okay. Use your own body weight to ground. Notice that sense of rooting, like when you feel the release of the weight of your body, the weight of your bones dropping down. Just that alone is a beautiful grounding practice. So I'm gonna go find that poem while you guys rest in Shavasana. So take a moment to feel the ease of your head. Feel the ease of your shoulders. Come back into that long, steady state of the exhales. It should feel very comforting. And constantly weight your body down. Let gravity be your very best friend.
Begin to move about. It could be small little movements in your fingers and your toes. It could be bigger movements. You could turn your head from side to side. And whatever the pathways are that help you, nourish you. Eventually finding your way onto your side. As you come up to a comfortable seat, take notice and start that breath again. Slow, long exhales. And while you breathe, I'll read you the full version of small kindnesses. Okay. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by. Or how strangers still say bless you when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them, and for them to smile back. For the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder. And for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire. Only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy? These fleeting temples we make together when we say, here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. Or, I like your hat. And so let's, in this spirit of connecting, let's hold whoever you have in your mind and in your heart. And let your energy be these little threads that can weave us, hold us. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.